You know what I don't understand?
What?
Is when people applaud in movie theaters.
Did they do that?
Yeah, I can't when I saw it recently, and it's like who are you clapping to?
They want everyone else to know that
So
they liked it.
when you applaud, it's like a way of showing your appreciation to someone's art, but they have to be there to receive it, right?
Yeah.
So if you're clapping, if you're just in a movie theater, you're just clapping to a screen.
Unless they think they're in a Paranormal Activity movie theater, where it's like there's a night vision camera on them, and it's like, how many people clapped?
Hey, Tyler's back. Welcome.
I'm back.
Welcome to the Invested Podcast. My name is Terry. With me is Connor and Tyler.
Woohoo!
How you guys doing?
I'm alright.
That's great. Okay, so we're gonna get started real quick. We got a lot going on. We're gonna do our Thor review. I'm very excited to talk about Thor because I know Connor had a lot of interesting points towards it. I haven't heard really what you thought, but I've seen it twice, and that definitely made it a difference. So
I need to see it again.
We are not gonna have much trailer talking today because there are no trailers to talk about.
Dang it.
But we're gonna talk about Battlefront 2 because there's a lot going on there. I don't know if you know anything about it, Connor.
I don't know anything about it except the one time you told me about it.
Yeah, well, there's more things to know about it now.
Oh, no.
Or I have a little bit of stuff to discuss.
Ryan Johnson news?
Ryan Johnson news.
Yeah,
Why don't you lead this one off?
All right.
You're so keen to talk about it, Connor.
Get your water out of your mouth.
Ryan Johnson apparently, I don't even know how to describe it. I guess he wants to do new Star Wars, and
He wants to do a new trilogy.
Disney people said, okay, we like movie, you make good movie. You make good movie.
Which one did he do? He did Rogue One.
No. That's
he's doing the last
That's
Jedi.
Gareth
he's
Edwards.
doing the last. Yeah, that's right.
Wait, was that Gareth Edwards?
Yeah, it was
Godzilla?
Gareth Edwards. Yeah, you're right.
That's so weird.
What has Ryan Johnson done that's recently?
He did Looper,
and
then he did Brick, and then in between those two, he did Brothers Bloom.
Oh, I love Brothers Bloom. It's a great movie.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah. It's good. You should watch it.
I haven't seen any of those,
You
actually.
That's a really good one.
I haven't watched the whole thing, but I watched the first 20 minutes, and I was like, this is pretty good.
Of what, Brothers Bloom?
Yeah.
Why would you say it's good if you haven't seen it?
Well, I like the first 20
You
minutes.
should watch the rest of it, because the rest of it's really good. All right, so he wants to make like a new Star Wars trilogy that has nothing to do with all the characters we know. It'll just be like a separate new, it's basically just like a new movie in the same universe.
I'm open to that.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
it's a cool idea.
Yeah, I don't know what should eat these almonds.
You eat those almonds, dude. Are they chocolate-covered almonds?
Yeah.
That's 7-Eleven Selects, too. That's some high-quality almonds. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm sure he'd be all right. I'm sure it'd be all right.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like some weird thing where they just mention things from the original trilogy constantly, and you're like, oh, I know that. Oh, I know that. Oh, because otherwise then it's just going to be
It's
the
Luke
similar.
Skywalker's
Shoe.
bow and arrow.
What?
It's Chewbacca's bow and arrow.
Yeah, there you go. Crossbow.
His cross B.
Cross Crow.
I was thinking about that alliteration.
So yeah,
Anyways.
that's
And
new.
Nirvana the band, the show.
Oh, Nirvana the band, the show's amazing. We'll talk about that too. Yeah, I don't have really any thoughts except for that's fun.
I feel like it's too early to have thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, you know nothing about it, right?
Apparently, in the Reddit comments on the internet, people have been saying this means that Star Wars VIII.
Is that episode 9?
No.
VI 5
That's
7 8.
Oh yeah, you're right. I fucked it up.
Okay.
Star Wars VIII.
5 6 7 8. Yeah. I 3. Yeah.
That one apparently it must be good if they're giving him
they gave him the. Oh no, J.J. Abrams is coming back for 9, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that.
I thought I heard
Am I
that.
It
correct
kind of
about
makes
that?
sense. Bookends.
I cannot confirm nor deny, but I feel like I've heard that.
Confirm or deny it?
Because
The
internet.
Google.
Jurassic World guy left. Colin.
I saw that. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I did.
Trevor Wow.
Yeah, I saw that, and I do believe I read somewhere
I
that
do
J.J.
believe.
Abrams was coming back.
Director J.J. Abrams. Yeah, I knew that was a thing.
Oh, okay, that's nice. I guess.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I didn't hate Force Awakens. So.
No. I think he played it safe, which was fine. But if he's not
take a risk,
he's not writing the script, so someone else will write it. And he's a good director, so it's fine. I'm okay with that.
He made Lost.
Lawrence Kasdan. Oh, well, he made the pilot and then sort of some of the first season.
He made Star Trek. All right, so yeah, that's fine with me. What do I have next? Did you guys hear about this Lord of the Rings TV show?
Just today, that it's
been confirmed.
It's happening.
It's been talked about the past few weeks, and now it's been like confirmed that like Warner Brothers are gonna make the whoever owns it.
But why?
It's Amazon Studios is taking it, and they're gonna do everything on Amazon Studios.
Newland Cinema owns it, and they died. Oh no, Warner Brothers now.
Warner Brothers owns it.
Is it gonna be? It's not just like a. Hey, here's the Lord of the Rings story, but TV show.
I think, since it's a TV show, they'll probably draw it out. It'll be all the details of the books. Which,
Wait, so you're doing the books?
Yeah, like I don't want.
Here's the thing.
That.
Is that for legit?
This is legitimate.
I don't want the same.
They're making the Lord of the Rings series, the books, into a TV show rather than a movie. So
that's stupid.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
I would be okay with them doing anything else.
Yeah,
like
we already have
Silmarillion. I would be like, great.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Any other canon?
Maybe
new
even
canon,
redo the Hobbit.
Like start
fix the Hobbit.
Fix the Hobbit in the TV show form.
Do
fine.
What Star Trek does for sci-fi, but do it in Lord of the Rings world.
Just do not touch those 3 movies.
Yeah, those movies.
The story of those.
I was
3
just
movies.
watching them actually. They're just on TV on AMC tonight.
They are perfect.
Do you know what would be good? Is those 3 movies, right? What are other characters doing around that? Like a new set of characters happening.
It won't
in another
feel
movie.
the same because it has to be in New Zealand. It has to be in the same areas. It has to be the same. They can't copy what happened there.
Did you make that noise?
That hissing is my radiator. I have old.
I did. Was not me.
You gotta clean your pipes, kid.
No, it's steam. It comes through the little thing.
I want to ask Tyler about working at a movie theater and like all the secret stuff that goes on. That's like,
you can ask him that at another date.
Can ask him that at another date. Okay.
Or just after this segment.
Yeah, after this.
I don't know about your pipes.
Well, I don't know actually.
Jesus,
the rest of my news really isn't that exciting, except for Zachary Levi is Shazam.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Shazam is that superhero,
Captain
right?
Marvel.
Yeah,
Shazam.
in the DC universe where he's a kid. And then he goes Shazam, and he turns into a really muscular man with like electricity Superman powers.
So it's just big.
Yeah, this is the one. Rock is going to be the villain.
Oh, okay.
So Zachary Levi.
Zachary Levi from Chuck fame and Tangled fame, and one of the Robin Hood version of the Brothers 3 in the Thor movies.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. The Warriors 3, the Brothers 3.
Whatever.
I think one of them was a lady.
No, she's not a part of it. No, it's the Asian dude. And it was the guy who looks like Gimli and then Robin Hood.
Volstagg and everybody else.
Yeah, he's going to play Shazam, I guess. Which is fine. I don't care, really. But that was big news like a week ago. I just missed it.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of Zachary Levi. I think he's nice.
Good.
Like, I like the Nerd HQ interviews he does.
I haven't seen him enough in things, though. Because
really
I loved Chuck. Chuck was a great show.
Yeah, I never watched it, but I remember you were all about Chuck.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. It was corny, and I knew it, and I enjoyed it. Shut up.
It's corny, and I knew it. I like the concept, which is like
it's one of those shows that like kind
Geek Squad as Spy.
It didn't know what to do after the next the first 3 seasons.
Yeah,
and
it was
it's disappointing.
It feels more like a sitcom than anything else. You want some of those?
No, they just my hand hit it, and I didn't know what it was for a minute.
I did see today. I feel like this got announced and then debunked and announced again, but that Disney might be buying Fox.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about that.
I saw today that it's almost finalized.
Can I just say real quick, though, I kind of don't want that to happen. Because then Disney has too much of all this stuff. And then they start making all these movies and these different... it's just too much going on.
I just want them to have X-Men and Fantastic Four.
I don't see... But we've talked about this before. I don't want the X-Men in the Avengers universe because it's too late.
They had their chance.
But it's not, though, because think about what are they going to do when the Avengers storyline ends?
Right, so I know, but where have all these mutants been all this time? It just doesn't make sense. Sure. Fantastic Four to me is fine. I'm okay with that. But.
I just want Galactus, really.
Oh yeah, Galactus.
I want to see Avengers fight
Dr.
Galactus.
Doom.
Yeah, Dr. Doom.
Yeah, okay, so I'm okay with bringing villains in, but the X-Men universe for me is just because then the X-Men universe, part of their story is that they're kind of looked down upon and like people are like, ugh, mutants, but we love the Avengers. It just doesn't make sense.
But it works in the comics.
Well,
I know, but the comics are so freaking big, and you only have 2 hours of movie to like explain all this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing with the mutants and the Avengers is that the Avengers like are they didn't choose to be they chose to be the way that they are like Captain America is volunteered for this. Well, you could argue that he gained his powers through the legacy of his intelligence, he was powers as accident or as expansion of science.
Speaking of the whole, is it canon like in the MCU that he was trying to, and this has happened in the comics, that he was trying to replicate Captain America's serum?
I want to say
wrong, because that was mentioned, I think, at one point.
I think I don't know about the comics.
I want to say yes, because it sounds like that's some 60s shit right there. And in another issue, he's trying to work out the same formula, but it goes
awry.
It goes awry.
Look out, kids!
Watch out for the next issue of fucking this guy.
This big green guy. I have 2 more little news stories that I thought were kind of amusing. Tommy Wiseau, you know him from... I did not hit her. He says he wanted... he heard that they were making the Disaster Artist movie, and he said he wanted Johnny Depp to play him.
No. I
think he thinks too highly of himself. But Johnny Depp is nothing anymore, really.
Yeah, who cares? Johnny Depp?
I'm sure he
can...
Depp.
He's going to be on the Polar Express, so you got to watch out. Well, no. Midnight Express.
It already came out. Apparently, that movie's wicked boring. That's what I keep hearing.
Polar Express. It's cold out, right?
Murder on the Polar Express.
On the Polar Express.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks did it.
It's like his face is ripped off his CGI body.
Yeah.
Looks like he got deleted.
I think that he would do a good voice of Tommy Wiseau.
Jonathan Depp.
John Depp.
Jean Don.
And then Samuel L. Jackson is teaching an online acting class now.
Good for him.
Yeah, right.
When did Jean Don write his poetry?
Who?
Jean Don?
Get out of here, you English major. Get out of here. Who invited you?
Hey,
you did.
So how was the Terry Cornella / Invested Podcast trip to Rhode Island Comic Con this weekend?
Oh, yeah. I went to Rhode Island Comic Con this weekend. Okay, so... I saw a lot of stuff.
What'd you do?
All right, so one of my favorite things was there was a Star Wars exhibit.
Mm-hmm.
There was I wish I could explain how big K2SO is, but he's massive. Like there was a full size from the movie.
Oh, from Rogue One, the big.
Yeah, Rogue One.
Oh
my god!
Doesn't he throat punch? Jerson.
Jerson.
They had a fully 3D printed version of him, and it was like,
oh damn,
it was massive.
He's like,
I couldn't even.
How tall is he? Like 7,
He's
8
like
feet?
7 something,
Jeez.
and his hands are like the size of my torso. So the Star Wars stuff was cool. Saw a lot of exhibits. I saw Sean Astin there. I didn't see him personally. I didn't go up to him, but I was like, hey, that's Sean Astin. Lou Ferrigno, I got real close to. I didn't talk to him because I didn't think he could hear me because I'm pretty sure he's deaf. And I didn't feel because I didn't nothing to. What do I say to Lou Ferrigno?
I loved your Hulk work in the 70s.
Like, I've never seen your Hulk stuff, but I know you. From you were on King of Queens once.
Didn't he?
What do I say to that?
Did he do? He did the voice in Avengers, right?
I think Thor Ragnarok was the first time he didn't do the voice.
Yeah, he's done the voice of the
but
voice.
I think in every other, besides maybe the 2008 one.
Yeah, I don't know. Who cares about
Edward Norton did the voice.
Yeah. So yeah, but I think the most interesting thing I did was I went to it was called the Road to Infinity War panel. What's his name?
Mark Ruffalo?
No, Mark Ruffalo. He was there, but he wasn't at the panel. He was at the Comic-Con.
Kevin Feige?
Sebastian Stan.
Bucky.
And who plays Vision Jarvis?
Oh, the Paul Bettany. I was about to say Paul Wheatley. Paul Bettany.
So they were there and they were answering questions.
That's
and they were
cool.
talking about, and it was really interesting. First of all, just to hear Jarvis talking, I was like, Jarvis is here.
Yeah.
Every time he said stuff, I was like, what the heck?
Where is he?
But he talked about his role in Han Solo, and someone was like, what can you tell us about that? He's like, I can't tell you the name because I'm afraid I'll be sued and or fired.
Probably.
But I'm a kind of a cool character. That's what he said.
Kind of a cool guy.
Yeah.
So he's Han Solo.
That'd be awesome. No, I think he's gonna be like a gangster type ruffian.
Sounds like Chewbacca. Cool
I hope
guy.
they keep the accent because that'd be kind of a cool character.
Oh
with
my
that
god, he's
accent.
playing Obi-Wan.
Yes. So anyway, in the Marvel panel, they talked about basically just like shooting the movie and how crazy it is and how many people there are.
Oh, yeah.
Sebastian Stan was like, I don't know what's happening half the time. He was talking about how like he would get a script page for a script and he would read it and be like, cool. And then the next day someone would come up with a new one and a new one. And this happens like 4 days in a row. And they were just, and then Ben Paul Bettany was basically like, yeah, I don't even read them anymore. Yeah. Like, who knows? But yeah, that was probably the most fascinating thing I did there. But yeah, I saw a lot of cool artists.
Did you see Pee Wee Herman?
No, I didn't see Pee Wee Herman. I saw a lot of wrestlers. Oh, I saw Justin Roiland.
What?
Oh,
Yeah, he
nice.
was there.
What?
That's good.
But I had to pay to like see him. But
I
like,
would have. How much?
It was like $80, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow.
I should have because the passes I got them for free because someone we knew had free passes and they were just like, hey, take this.
Oh, that's sweet.
But I was already buying stuff like little stuffs.
Stan Harmon there?
Food. No, it was just Justin Roiland. But I mean, I stood at like the end and like looked over the line and saw him sitting at a table. And he was
Oh,
like,
man.
blah, blah, blah,
I
blah.
love you, Justin.
Yeah, his panel was the day before. I kind of wish I went there. Red Al was
yeah.
there too, but his panel was the day after.
Wow, this sounds like a big event.
Oh, it's the third biggest Comic-Con in the United States.
Where is it in Rhode Island? Like,
This
is
is
it in
Providence,
Providence?
yeah.
Okay.
Is it second New York?
Second New York and the first is
yeah.
That's weird because you think I feel like Boston
Would be bigger than Rhode Island.
or Chicago.
See, Boston. All right, so we went to Boston.
Yeah, I've been once.
The
2
floor,
years ago.
Yeah, the floor itself with all like the vendors and stuff is about the same size.
Yeah.
As Rhode Island, but Rhode Island has a lot more going on around it.
Mm.
Like there's more panels, there are more events going on, like in different rooms. There's
Okay.
stuff
That's
downstairs.
surprising. Good for you, Rhode Island.
Yeah, no, I know it's really weird.
Oh, it is Providence, Rhode Island. Providence is like the center of Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
it's
kind
like
of a big deal.
The city.
That's it.
One
Rhode
big thing
Island.
that happened was almost the entire cast of The Walking Dead was going to be there, and then like slowly but surely they all like canceled, and even Norman Reedus was like, "I'm going to be there, but I'm going to be late," and then he canceled, and apparently because AMC were like, "We have to film that day, you can't go," which is like a jerk move, right? They were just like, "No, you can't go."
What?
Yeah.
Was it?
Well, that's
So a lot of people were like,
Was any Walking
you
Dead?
can't go
I
to
think
this
only
work
the dead
engagement.
ones.
You can't go plug the TV show and do free advertising.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not free. Maybe they pay them.
They get paid for it, like whatever. But the governor.
Although
was
with
there,
AMC, I don't know
Abraham
about,
and
I don't know
all
about
that
all
stuff.
that. You guys know about AMC, right? Of how they're notoriously bad at treating
No.
their employees.
I did not know that.
Well, now this is kind of like proof, then, isn't it?
The dude, sorry, I'm still munching on things.
Yeah, keep chewing.
The dude who Frank Darabont, YMS actually did a huge like expose video on this.
YMS, yeah, good stuff.
But it's Frank Darabont who was in charge of the first season.
Oh yeah, with
He-
the whole
He got let go during the second season.
I remember that.
and like
And
half
they
the actors were
they
like,
decreased the show's budget,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
though the show was a success.
Isn't that's why season 2 is like so lame?
it's so like bland, yeah. And like half the actors who were there
Freaking-
for that writer and director,
Yeah.
and once he left, they didn't really want to be on the show.
And they were
Yeah.
tied to their
So
contracts.
Yeah, but they were tied to contracts, so they stopped caring really, and you can kind of see it in their performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then
I wonder
The
what
reason
I wonder
Breaking
what it would have
Bad-
been if it was still on it.
Breaking Bad didn't really suffer from any of that because they were a co-production with Sony, so AMC had to like stay on their shit.
Yeah.
But when AMC, it's a sole joint production. I mean, a sole production, not a joint production.
Yeah.
Soul joint
A
production.
sole joint production. They have all this control.
Yeah.
And they will just do whatever the fuck they want, which
Nice,
is crazy.
yeah.
And you notice this too when you watch AMC shows. Like, there's always something weird about them. They always like, there's like this weird shitty, like bullshit. Like I don't know if it's just me projecting.
I don't really
but-
watch a lot of AMC shows
neither.
besides
Yeah.
Breaking Bad and.
Is Better Call Saul done with Sony? As
Oh
well?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's co-production. Yeah.
I kind of figured if
I have to
Breaking Bad
finish
was.
that.
I think I've seen 2 seasons.
I think
The newest one was the 3rd, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't watch
Yeah,
that.
It's still it's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it. But anyway, Rhode Island Comic Con was a lot of fun.
That's good.
I would like to go to Boston this summer too, again,
Yeah.
and actually go to panels. That was the problem when we went. We just went to the floor.
Yeah,
but
we
the panels
did.
are like what's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
and like the Marvel one was probably the biggest one they did. So, and I only waited in line for about 40 minutes. And that sounds like a lot, but it wasn't that bad because we just stood there, hung out, sat
Chatted.
for a lot of it, chatted with a lot of people.
Did you get seats at the panel, or is it just like first come first serve? Like, do you have to buy tickets for
No,
the
it's
specific?
first come first serve. So
That's
we
cool.
so we were like, it starts at 5.
Get in line at like
We're
4.
gonna get the line. We got a line at like 4:15 15 is
That's not
420.
bad.
We stood there, and like it's a big room, so
Oh, yeah.
everybody basically got in, and there were seats available too, even so yeah, that was probably the best part. And if we were to go again to anything, I would like to go to the panels and actually listen to things. But yeah, it was a good experience. We can move on now.
Connor wanted to ask me about my movie.
Oh yeah,
pipes.
Connor, you can. Do you
have any questions about my
Tyler
movie
managed
pipes?
the movie theater for like a couple
Oh
months.
yeah. What are the things about like the theater that like is like crazy?
I mean, like
that,
the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, like I kind of just want to know about the pipes. Can you
Just
tell me about
the pipes. I didn't.
Because Ben and I would have this joke where like that dude who would come in with the glasses and the white hair, who kind of looks like a cast member from The Sopranos, and he would come in and he'd be like, "A kitty tray, could I get a kitty tray, please?" And with a regular drink, and we'd be like, "Okay, for free," because he's like the health inspector maybe.
Oh, he's not anymore though.
And then, but he would say to Larry, he'd be like, "You gotta clean your pipes. I can't keep them off your back anymore. You gotta clean your pipes." And I was like, oh, "What's happening with the pipes and the grease trap? Like, what's happening?"
Well, before Tyler says anything, I guarantee he had nothing to do with any of this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I'm just curious. Like,
pipes. I don't know about them.
No,
I wasn't told anything about the pipes, so I don't know anything about the pipes.
Sorry to disappoint, Connor.
Yeah,
No
I
pipe
wanted an
action.
inside scoop.
You just want to know what that smell is.
I don't know, man.
There's a terrible smell coming out of those pipes.
They always tell us to just pour hot water down and it goes away.
Yeah.
Just forget about it.
Just forget about it.
Forget
That's
about
that's
those
kind of
pipes.
the motto of that place. Something's wrong, just forget about it.
I feel like that. Like,
Got a new phone.
oh, you
For the
did?
front?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, no, the buttons are still, but we got a new like cord and handle thing.
Oh, it's about time.
Whatever the heck you call those. Anyway, this is
A
completely
new nacho machine and a new phone. Oh boy,
Stepping it up.
Oh ho ho! It's because the new health inspector like is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, is that real?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's nuts.
Yeah, she's coming back again this weekend.
Did she make us get a new phone?
I don't know.
Because that shouldn't...
I think maybe that was just Larry. I think he got it from his house because
Okay.
it's used. But whatever. So we're gonna move on. We don't have any trailers to talk about today, but it's gonna be our trailer trash segment anyway because
We got stuff to talk
we got
about.
stuff to talk about. We're gonna discuss the controversy of Battlefront 2 and all this stuff. So, Tyler, what's going on?
Trailer trash.
Tell Connor. Connor doesn't know anything. Explain to him what's happening.
Somebody
So,
didn't want to play the video game.
lots of people don't want to play a
A
video
lot of
game.
people don't want to play this game.
So, I'm
The
sure...
DLC.
And I think Tyler and I have different opinions on the severity of it. So that'll make things a little more fascinating.
So, I believe...
Oh wait, real quick. Is that Princess Mononoke?
That's Fight Club.
No, that's Fight Club. That is also a good movie, though.
Same diff.
You were there when he gave it him.
Oh, I was. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Okay.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe whatever past problems that were had with the beta, Terry told you about
The loot crate system.
the loot crate
right?
stuff.
Oh yeah, you couldn't get items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
You had to kind of pay for
Yeah.
it. Whatever.
I wasn't here
It's
for
been
that.
solved. It's not an issue. It's,
Microtransactions.
Yeah, microtransactions, which are still a thing, but they're not the key to progress anymore.
But they help you a lot.
they help you a lot. Kind of. Actually, I will talk about that.
Yeah. But the thing is, Star Wars game, like you want to be Darth Vader, you want to play Luke Skywalker, like
Iconic character.
yeah, you want to be your favorite heroes and villains.
Plut, Plunt, Unkar.
Yes.
Plunt, Unkar, Plut.
The guy who says, "Hey, what a guy."
I want to play Watto.
Yeah.
We don't take Republic credits.
No good here.
I was thinking about the guy, the death sticks guy.
I
What about the
was-
death
Oh, I
sticks?
quoted that the other day. My friend we were in Vermont. He's like, "I'm gonna go sit on the couch and rethink my life." I was like, "Don't sell me death sticks." He's like, "I'm not gonna sell you death sticks."
All right, sorry. Continue.
So you want to play these iconic heroes and shit, because like who doesn't? I want to be Boba Fett on the battlefield. Like it's just fun. That's half the fun.
Yeah, Bob Fett.
And in the first Battlefront,
Bobby Fett.
you would just
Bobby.
you'd be running around on the field. You get a hero pickup.
Which I didn't like.
Yeah, yeah, it could have been done better, but you get your hero pickup, and it would be like, hey, do you want to be Boba Fett, Darth Vader, whatever?
Right.
Here you
Whoever
go.
was
Spawn
available.
as them. So in this game, I guess they implemented this system where you pick, you have to unlock the hero using in-game currency. So it's not just like,
No, I don't know about all that.
yeah. So it's not just like in the middle of a match where it's like, hey, ooh, you got this thing, you're gonna spawn as this hero, or like, I mean, I was kind of thinking in terms of the beta where they're just there. You get enough points in the game, you beat them, but basically Luke and Darth Vader. These are the two I was seeing the biggest complaints on because they're like top tier heroes. Are 60,000 credits in the game.
And so when you play like the biggest game,
when
which
you
is
play,
like, what, 30 minutes of gameplay?
When you play a match, basically what I've seen on Reddit and YouTube is that the kind of average, the consensus is that on average, a player earns anywhere from 250 to 350 to 400 credits a game.
A half-hour game.
Yeah.
About 20 minutes.
And they did out the math, and it's about 40 hours if you want to have enough credits to unlock either of those two heroes.
If you don't spend... Yeah, just for one. And this is if you don't spend any credits on anything else.
Yeah, that's if you literally don't buy any other unlocks. Or you could spend money on... You can spend actual money to buy loot crates to get credits to buy the heroes.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
And they didn't tell anyone because in the test copies for reviewers, I guess that Luke and Vader were priced at 10,000, which is that's reasonable. And then they were I think on Friday there was a special EA early access where people are already playing the game. They were like, "What the hell? Like this 60,000 credits? This is absolutely ridiculous."
Yeah, it's a little over the top.
You could also earn credits through challenges, but some person, I don't know, on Reddit made a spreadsheet where if you do every challenge in the game, you only get about 30,000 credits. So you're only halfway to unlocking them.
Yeah.
And some of the challenges you need Luke or Vader to do.
Right.
And other heroes like, Rey or whatever, they don't cost as much. But people were freaking out. Reddit's been exploding.
Yeah, so when I went on this morning and I was reading comments, and it's just like person after person, getting rid of, like, canceling their pre-orders. They're like, not buying this game, which I think is a little excessive. But at the same time, it got their voices heard.
It did. And
so they went out, and Tyler just told me, apparently they switched it from 60,000 to, what is it, 20?
15. Around, it was probably around like 4:30 today. Checking that Instagram, of course, and on the EA Battlefront story, they were like, hey, we've heard your voices and we're working on it. Swipe up. So I swiped up and they had this little post that said like, oh, we had changes for the beta, changes for this, blah, blah, blah. We're still going to implement changes. We hear you're complaining about this, whatever. So they decided to change it in a patch that goes, I think it goes live tomorrow for people who currently have the game. And that should be, we get our copies tomorrow.
We do?
Yeah. The 14th. They should be in the... Did you order yours online?
Yeah.
I got an email on like Friday that was like, Battlefront will be there on Tuesday.
Wait, what did you order it through Amazon?
I did GameStop. But I got an email that was like, hey, your game comes Tuesday.
I'm going to have to check that.
Because it comes out Friday. Yeah. You order the Elite Trooper Edition, you get 3 days early. Which is...
I don't know if I did the Elite. I don't remember.
It was like somebody woke you up with the defibrillator.
I know, I kind of jumped a little bit.
I thought you did the Elite Trooper edition.
I don't know if I did, actually. I honestly don't remember.
If you did order that one, it comes in the mail tomorrow.
All right. I've been expecting Friday this whole time. So I think, all right, so my issue with all this is that, yes, I agree the heroes were too much to unlock. Yeah. It's excessive. But I also knew that they would change it because they can. It's not like in the old days where you buy a game for whatever amount, $40.
And that's it.
And that's it. And if there's something you don't like, you can't do anything about it, and that's that. Like, when the first Battlefront came out, it had its issues at first.
Yeah.
Some weapons were way too overpowered. Some were weak as hell. And within the first few months of the first Battlefront game, patches were coming constantly, and things were getting changed. They added a roll mechanic that everybody wanted. That was all this stuff.
13.
This was 2 years ago, Connor. You know?
The first
Battlefront, like
the DICE EA Battlefront.
I'm still thinking like old person.
Yeah, no, we're past that.
When we were playing the first Battlefront,
things were changing constantly, and I knew that was going to happen. So,
yeah,
I'm not one of those people. I'm going to give it a chance. The story mode's still fantastic.
Yeah,
it's still a fun game to play.
I agree, and I'm not going to cancel it, but I can totally see how people would be outraged.
I think people are just really. I think that this community is like really wants to be mad at EA because EA is not the best company in the world. And they do screw people over, and I agree with that. But at the same time, this game's probably still going to be great.
You know what I mean? I feel like people are very afraid that if there were no changes, any major changes made, like people do not want this pay to win loot crate shit to become the norm in online multiplayer games.
We shouldn't allow it.
Nobody wants that,
Right.
and like we've seen that from games like CS:GO that you can do that with just cosmetics and still have people pay for that or have people not pay for it.
Now,
but
I know.
Like
but here's
whole
the thing,
progression
though.
system.
Here's the thing, though. I understand why loot crate and DLC is a thing because I was curious, so I looked up some factual facts on the Googs, and apparently, video games used to cost $40 to buy. Because that was how much they cost to really like make, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But games nowadays they cost so much more to make because of the engines are so big. So they're losing money when we spend only $60 on them.
Right.
So they need to make that money back. So that's why DLC comes out and that's why in-game credits come. But I think they've gone too far.
Oh, easily.
They've gone too far.
Yeah.
They need to take a step back. Like DLC is fine. Like Horizon Zero Dawn just did it.
Yes.
$20. I just played through the main
I haven't got it yet.
storyline. I had so much fun. It was worth the money to me because I love the game.
Yeah.
So if you make a game that's good enough, and then you throw some DLCs at some point that people will be excited
Like, I'm
about.
totally fine with that. I've been buying like Halo 3,
Yeah.
Call of Duty 2, Modern Warfare 2 was like, hey, pay $15 and get a bunch of maps to play out. Like
the Uncharted DLC, $40. But I love the Uncharted series, and I was like, man, what the heck? I'll get that.
that was basically a full game. I mean,
full game. It was fun.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's what they need to take a step back and be
was
like,
fun.
this is the better way to do it. But speaking of
Just don't lock your progression systems.
the
behind
pay to win
money.
thing. So I was listening to a bunch of early reviews. People have the game now. And I
Yeah.
was listening to one guy, and he was saying how they changed it. You'd still pay to like get loot crates, but the loot crate stuff you can get by paying is so minimal. It's like your grenade radius is expanded by like this tiny much, or like you can withstand slightly more damage to the point where like it's not really gonna change your experience.
What?
Do you have something to add there, Connor?
No. Not fine.
I'm just gonna let him go.
Yeah. I don't even know what that was about.
I just look over and he's staring at me.
Get it all out.
No, I'm good.
What's up?
Nothing.
What's on your mind?
I was just like, I wonder how loud these albums are.
That's the bag that's loud. There's nothing to do with you chewing them. I can hear them.
Because I had flashbacks to the chicken.
Yeah, the time we ate chicken on a podcast. That was fun. So anyway, I don't think that for us, as these we're not like super intense hardcore. We're just play it for fun. I don't think the people who are going to spend $90, $100 on their loot crates right away are going to be that detrimental to our gameplay.
Well, no, I did also in a video I watched today. It was on Reddit. There was a statement from someone from DICE, and they were saying that this game. Sorry, I don't know why I can't form a sentence right
it's
now.
Fine, don't worry about it. You're getting excited, I know.
Yeah. You will be, the matchmaking will be separated into like,
so,
it'll take into account people who have similar star cards to you, and like
it's a lot like Rocket League.
Yeah, like
if you're a pro, they'll put you in with pros.
Yeah.
Does this bore you, Connor?
No, I just had like
get a PlayStation 4.
I had a flash forward. Or, you know when you think of something like you have to do and you're like, ooh, that's not going to go very well. Like you have like an ominous premonition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one of those just now.
Like when you have a project you have to do and you're like...
Well, it's weird because it was like, and it's like one of those things that there's nothing I can do about it. Like,
What are your thoughts on death threats?
On death threats?
Yeah. Like if you're unhappy with someone, you send them a death threat. Do you think it solves anything?
Not really. It just makes, it's like illegal, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Because that's what's been happening. You see a lot of that too.
What?
On Reddit. Like people...
What?
A lot of developers of EA... And bring it back to the Star Wars.
Okay.
It's like if somebody hit you in the street, would you shoot them? It's like, nah, man, that's a crime. I'm not gonna commit more crime because I'm angry.
Yeah. So a lot of developers
this
from DICE and EA
have
been
1700s.
I've been posting about how they've been getting like people like threatening.
Serious?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of people were way
down.
too into this, and they're so angry about it. And I think that's kind of ruining it for this game in general because there's a lot of good things about this game that are going untalked about, really. Yeah. It's all the negative.
I've heard absolutely nothing about the single player.
Yeah. I was curious, so I looked it up, and someone was like, it's great. It's a lot of fun.
I'm into that. I'll play it.
It's really cool knowing that it's canon. Fun. That's all I wanted. But, like, it's just really sad that, like, all this negativity, as important it is to be heard, is overshadowing all the good stuff. So, hopefully... Where are you going, Connor? He's just spinning.
I want to talk about Doctor Strange at some point.
Chair. All right, well, we're gonna move on to our Thor review. We can talk about Doctor Strange at the same time.
Oh fuck yeah! Oh yeah, because he's in that movie.
He's in that movie. All right, let's do it. Thor time. Anyway, thanks for talking about Battlefront with me, Tyler. I really appreciate your take. I think we're on the same page in terms of...
Oh yeah, I mean,
I just knew deep down. I get it's a bad idea, but I knew it was gonna be salty.
Yeah, I just get in when I see this, I get in a tizzy for a few days, and I'm like, do something, and then they're like, we're gonna do something. I'm like,
the problems
all right, that's cool.
Of a capitalist regime.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so we're gonna talk about Thor Ragnarok.
Real talk.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you flashing us too. That was nice.
No problem.
Initial thoughts.
I thought it was a lot of fun.
I was such a blast. I tried something different. I think it worked.
Pump blood back into Marvel.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down. Connor gave it thumbs down. Didn't like it. Thought it was.
It was really.
Thought it was trash.
I had a very good time.
Yeah.
But the whole time I was like, "This is a sad day. This is a sad day for movies," because it was more important to them that the movie be funny and have jokes than the characters get like growing and exploring themselves.
All right, so I took that. You told me that the night after when we watched it. And I took that into account on my second viewing, and I think you're slightly wrong. You're right about some characters, but Thor himself, I think he grows like in a different way of like being mature. He grows from being this boring, typical, whatever that he is in all the other ones to this more interesting and more fun to be around character. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. He's always like, I've always loved Thor, but he's just such a serious boy.
Yeah, he's so bland.
And now he's like having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of the best parts of the movie is him being so jokey.
Yeah.
But it was the problem is that it was like the biggest thing the movie had going for it, and it felt like they sacrificed what could have been a really interesting like they sacrificed a lot of interesting character moments just for the joke. And I feel that like the jokes should lead into the character moments. Like there was so many points where I was so excited for, like all the different gladiator matches.
That's what that's one of my biggest complaints, yeah.
And then it was just the one and it was kind of quick and oh god, and when they're on Sakaar and then he sees like the Hulk festival and I'm like, that's really funny. Are we going to have a little moment where Mark Ruffalo's like, maybe I should stay here because these people actually like me, like a little bit of moment of pathos. Nope, just jokes.
I think that was okay because,
but the problem is what we do in the shadows has like a lot of pathos and jokes together. Yeah. So I was like, that's what I would have expected.
And you haven't seen Hunt for the Wilder People. That's a touching movie.
I've seen the one scene. I saw the funeral scene.
That's a great scene. That's one with Taika Waititi in it, right?
Another door.
Yeah, another door. That Jesus. That's the way he says it.
That's great.
All right, so
and Sam Neill's in that movie too.
Sam Neill is in that movie, and he's also plays Odin.
Fake Odin.
So,
God, not the stuff. I feel like Hopkins was super underused.
See, again, I agree.
Hopkins, you got Hopkins, and you
I agree he was underused, but I also really liked him in this movie, though. In the part he was in, I loved the way he was talking. He was just like the way he was so like, yeah, whatever. He's like,
I'm dying.
I'm gonna die. Yeah, you have to deal with.
I liked when he was playing Loki. That was really funny. That was kind of cute.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
My favorite parts of the movie are I have like three big major favorite parts. The Doctor Strange sequence.
Yeah.
Both times, and I'm counting them as one, both times Immigrant Song is used because I feel like it's really a great character moment. Like it, especially what both say as far as bookends.
Yeah.
And the third part is the moment when Thor's in the chair and it's like the holographic display explaining what Sakaar is and all the Jeff Goldblum stuff.
Yeah.
All that stuff is great. All that stuff is perfect because that's character based and it feels like it has a purpose. It shows a progression. It shows an arc. And everything else was just jokes. Like even Korg, which is the character
Korg is my favorite character.
He's so funny. He's great. I'm like, Korg doesn't have an arc. I'm upset.
Well, okay,
the revolution.
The thing about Korg though is that it's
Oh God! It's
All
like
right.
they just. Oh God!
Here's the thing though about him. I think it works with him because he's so like he's always in this same level of just like blandness and just like he doesn't get he doesn't get overexcited about anything. He doesn't get upset about anything. He's like when the revolution says like, oh, I guess to start a revolution. He's like, hey, we're gonna get on the ship. You want to come? Like it's just so like simple. And I think that works for him.
Yeah.
Even when the place explodes, he's like, oh, this foundations are good. Oh no, never mind.
Yeah.
Like, I think it works for his character.
Really funny.
I loved him. I thought he was great. I hope he's in more things.
Yeah.
I hope he's. I would, especially when he mentioned, speaking of the gladiators, he's like, I do the smaller fights. I want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see him do the smaller fights.
And I do think it would have been much better if they didn't reveal Hulk in the first goddamn trailer. Because the whole, leading up to that, the whole movie, they're like, ooh, you're going to face him. And the whole time I'm like,
no, I don't know who this is.
Yeah, you can say his name. We all know who he is.
Yeah.
Like,
see, I didn't watch the trailers.
But you still knew, didn't you?
I knew Hulk, but I didn't, his entrance I had never seen.
Yeah, that whole scene.
So that was exciting.
That whole thing is in the trailer.
Right.
When he comes out and he's just like, I know him. Yes.
See, I didn't know that was good. So for me, it was different. That's why I watched the show.
Yeah.
So like him coming out in that armor was awesome.
Yeah.
Bursting through the door was awesome. Oh, spoilers, by the way. We should probably.
Oh yeah, mad spoilers.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too is like Jeff Goldblum as the Grandmaster. That's awesome. In the comics, Grandmaster's got an Infinity Stone. Oh, this is super fun. What's gonna happen? And I was waiting for that scene. I was waiting for that Star Wars-esque scene where like Thor or Loki or one of the group is like are kind of like or not even them. Like it's a scene that we see as the audience that they don't see. Like a little bit of dramatic irony.
Yeah.
And it's what's his face? Jeff Goldblum talking on a hologram or holoscreen
to his brother,
to Hela, or his brother. But I thought that the Hela plot and the Sakaar plot. All
right, so
we're gonna mix.
This will bring me to my biggest point
of Sakaar as like this purgatory, like place where things go. It's again like I don't know how much you know about Norse mythology, but like Yggdrasil is the world tree, right? And so all the 9 realms are connected to it, and it's like. That's
it right there.
Sakaar is a great metaphor for the world tree. And like the way
it would have worked a lot. That would have worked really well because they just go through the Devil's Anus and they just appear at Asgard.
Yeah.
Like, why did that lead there?
Yeah,
it was kind of weird. But
and all the stuff with like the Bifrost, there's like so many fun themes and ideas in that. There's like this idea of like the legacy of violence, right? Of like Hela, Hulk, Thor, like and just completely unexplored. And I'm like, god.
So I think I told you this the night of, but I think my biggest weirdest issue with this.
Almond break
real quick. Hang on. My biggest weirdest is it felt like 2 movies put together. Like they had the Hela Asgard storyline down, and this was gonna be the movie, and they were like, "This is too Thor and too serious, and it's things that people are sick of, and why Dark World didn't work out so well. So we're gonna make this movie over here on this planet with Hulk, and we're gonna just kind of put them next to each other."
Yeah.
And like, what was up with Carl Urban's character?
I didn't like his character that much.
It was just like it's like this is not compelling. It's like you're supposed to at the end when he does change. You want it to be like a fuck yeah moment.
Yeah, it wasn't really.
You're just like, okay, sure, why not? That's too late.
Was he like Hela's sideman?
Yeah, okay. that visual of him jumping off the plane with the ship with the 2 guns though was awesome.
That was a cool visual.
Yeah.
Although it would be cooler if they'd done like a Grima Wormtongue thing, where he's like the whole time he's kind of like a sniveling, kind of like weak guy, and like he's like has like real trouble being the executor. For Hela, like he's a real just a weasel. So when he does turn, it's more satisfying.
Yeah. So we sound really negative. Let's go through.
It's really fun.
I want to go through the whole movie and just like discuss key moments. So the opening scene.
Ooh, I thought that fight with Immigrant Song and Thor fight. That's the
opening scene.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was
amazing.
That was one of the most fun things
I've
ever
seen.
That
scene where he throws a hammer and it follows the hammer around.
That got me so amped.
Oh my god!
I remember sitting there like,
oh, I got chills. I was like, ooh, like I audibly made a sound.
Yeah.
Like when that thing was going in a circle, it falls.
Which is so disappointing because I feel like they never hit that ceiling.
In terms of the action.
Yeah, and just in terms of the way it's orchestrated and like thematically.
Well, I feel like too in terms of the action, like taking Thor's hammer away.
Yeah,
it's gonna change the action.
Really
like
regardless.
the way he was throwing it at him and bouncing it off of him.
Like that was sick.
And then he drops it in the thing's mouth. Yeah, like the hammer is just like, I feel like Thor, but that kind of made it
like,
more of a big deal when it broke.
Well, yeah, like
because it showed how he mastered that thing like crazy.
Yeah,
like, it's just like he doesn't even think about it.
But then he was
being bit by a dragon, he just dropped it in its mouth and he just stood there.
Yeah,
you know, like.
But I love too how Odin's like, you're not the fucking god of hammers.
Yeah, that's a great line.
Like, and then he's like, well, that's right, I guess. Yeah. Almost forgot.
Isn't it weird how Loki feels like he got extremely depowered?
Yeah.
I mean, Loki was never like a big fighter, but it feel like he was so formidable in every film, at least relative to Thor.
Yeah.
In this film, he's just kind of like jokey and doesn't really have any.
I think it's because he just doesn't care anymore. He's just completely given up.
Just along for the ride.
So after that dragon thing is freaking awesome too.
Also, too, though, does anyone know how much money Disney had to pay Led Zeppelin to use that song?
No, a lot.
Because they don't like license their music out for anything.
Yeah.
They're so
that probably explains
tight about that.
At the credits, if you look at the song list, it's literally Immigrant Song and like maybe 4 other songs.
Yeah,
like, there's no soundtrack to this
because that's why
they spent their budget on
soundtrack. No, honestly though, because like, you know, people were like, back in the day they were like, ooh, like Led Zeppelin rock band, like the band was like, no, you're not using our music. Like they won't even let Weird Al do a parody, which he doesn't have to pay for, but he still like respects that.
Yeah, right.
So to have them have this song in this movie is absolutely huge,
and in the trailer too.
Yeah.
See, a part of me, I love the immigrant. A part of me, I love the immigrant song. I think it fits perfectly with this movie.
Yeah.
And I loved it in the first scene, and I loved it in the last scene. But a part of me wishes that they saved it for the last scene.
Oh, right.
Just the last scene.
Just the last scene to be like, oh, because then like we've already heard it and it kind of had its effect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then again, it worked so well in that first scene. I was
okay
with it.
Or
you know?
In the second scene, they do like a really cool orchestral version. Or like
a
fucking,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like a synthesized version of it or something like that.
Like an 80s synth version.
Yeah.
like a little bit of a different, you know, what do you call it?
Cover. All right, so then makes it to Asgard. Loki, the play. I thought I liked Matt Damon in that, but at the same time, it took me out of it a little bit. I was like, oh, that's Matt Damon. You know, people laughed at it. Like, he didn't do anything funny, but people laughed at it, which I don't really like in a movie. Where like you're laughing at the fact that an actor is playing a part rather than laughing rather than laughing at what the character did.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then it just seems like an SNL skit.
I heard people laugh during Interstellar when he showed up.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Oh, it's Matt Damon.
Yeah. No, because then it feels like an SNL skit where like, remember how like the skits start and it cuts to like the main actor wearing a weird wig and you just laugh like you don't even done anything yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's felt kind of weird. But like Sam Neill as Odin. I didn't realize it until afterwards.
Yeah, me neither.
He's the man.
Yeah, he's great.
I was reading somewhere that it was like, oh, this is the first film that Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum have appeared in since like Jurassic Park or something. And I was like, Sam Neill was in this movie? Yeah. Like, wait, what?
But going to that scene where the play, I think I see what you mean by Loki. That seemed too jokey and weird for Loki. Feels like something Loki wouldn't do.
But it's mischievous.
Oh, because it's too obvious. Because his whole thing is subterfuge, and so if the subterfuge is obvious, it decreases his ability.
Like the Loki from Avengers, the first Avengers.
It feels like a different Loki.
It does.
But then again, this feels like a different Thor as well. That's so true. I mean, I guess it's just
this Thor is way closer to like the mythology, like the Norse myth Thor.
Kind of,
because Norse myth Thor is like very like kind of. I don't want to say like. I don't want to say dumb, but he's very like
he's a hunk.
He's a hunk. Yeah, he's kind of a jock.
He's a dang old hunk.
Yeah, he's
thinks with his muscles.
He's got some what do you call it?
His muscles are huge, freaking ridiculous.
But yeah, he has a vitality that's not necessarily manifested in maturity. Yeah, I would say. Yeah. And Loki
that was present in the first Thor movie for sure, but then he overcame it.
Yeah, that's true. That was very present in the first act, and then Not and anywhere, none anywhere else. I can't even say it.
In the car, Connor was like, "I want to be a good English major and like just hone my skills as an English person."
Well, that's why, because I do shit like that.
But it makes for good comedy. So then the Doctor Strange things happened. I thought I liked the Doctor Strange thing.
It was,
but I noticed that it felt different, and the reason why is because it was filmed during Doctor Strange's filming.
No, is that real?
Yeah, because
they probably filmed
Taika Waititi wanted to use the set before they took it down,
which makes sense.
Of the septum.
Wow.
They probably filmed it when they filmed the post-credit scene.
So
for
Thor
Doctor Strange.
seemed very
does
calm.
feel kind of different, yeah.
He felt a little like less, but like there were the comedy moments, obviously, and like everything was still still Taika Waititi, but it felt like they weren't in the same jazz like.
He's not like, "Ooh, I just got to Earth with my boy."
It was just a little different. But yeah, I mean. But I liked that scene.
That was an awesome scene.
I liked his gloves.
The pacing was a little weird.
It was a little weird, yeah.
But I was like...
It seemed like they were trying to get him in there really quick.
That's the weirdest thing about the Doctor Strange sequence is because it's like, uh-oh. The use of the character in the scene is better than the use in the movie. Sorry, Scott Derrickson. Yikes. That's unfortunate.
I feel like that's happened before.
Yeah.
Has that happened before?
Did that happen with Spider-Man or something else?
I feel like it kind of happened with one of the side characters, like Scarlet Witch in
it was like a
Civil War, as
thing,
opposed to Avengers Ultron.
Captain America.
Captain America, absolutely.
Where you're like, first movie, you're like, okay, and then Winter Soldier comes out, and you're like,
well, even
he's my favorite character.
It went first Captain America movie, you're like, he's whatever, and then this Avengers movie came out, and you're like, he's useless.
Put it in the water.
He's useless in the first Avengers movie. He doesn't do anything except for crawl on the ball at once. And then Winter Soldier just made him your favorite.
He saves all those people in Grand Central Station.
And I think that
as soon as Winter Soldier starts and he's on the boat and he's like,
kicks that dude.
You're like, what the fuck?
Who is this man?
It's that first kick. I always say that when he first kicks that dude over the railing.
Yeah,
and like the whole camera shakes. Like you feel a woof. I think that this movie did for Thor what Winter Soldier did for Captain America.
Ooh, very interesting.
I do too.
Definitely.
I feel like Thor never had that moment.
I've liked him, but he's never had that moment of like, wow, I love this movie. I want to own it and watch it.
Well, that's the problem too. Is like I feel like Captain America, Winter Soldier is not a very jokey movie, so they focused on character, right? Not a very jokey movie, so they focused on character.
Right.
That's the problem with Thor. There's too many jokes, so they didn't get to focus on character.
Yeah,
which is.
But I also feel we've gotten the character moments from Thor before.
Not effectively, I don't think.
I guess
so. There's so much meat in this particular movie for them to mine, and like they just it didn't. I mean, we talked about this on the thing where all the stuff with Hela, like I didn't care at all when she died. Like I was like, and a good villain. I cared when Ego died in Guardians 2. I was like, this is sad. I'm sad, even though Ego is evil. Like all that stuff with like Brandy and like
I thought Hela was kind of
under best use of Fleetwood Mac ever. That was great.
Hela was a little underused. Kate Blanchett, she played her well. Obviously, she's a great actress. But
and it's like you have like I mean, because the thing with like Thor and Loki is always the brother dynamic, like the other child, the unwanted child, the adopted brother. And like now with Hela, you have like older sister exiled. Like you have all these sibling themes.
So I think the biggest problem was time restraints, because Taika Waititi has said that like they went from like a 3-hour cut to like an hour and a half cut back to like an hour or whatever it is now. Like
because I remember like months ago being like, "Ooh, this movie is like an hour and 45 minutes."
But did we need the scene of her taking the fire and then jumping down and then bringing all the soldiers back to life?
Where those soldiers came from.
Could that have been done a little bit more elegantly, a little bit more simply?
I mean, probably.
Yeah, probably. But then again, think about this director. He's never done an action movie like this before.
That's true.
There's some action in Hunt for the Wilder People, but like not really. It's like one scene
fighting,
before. But like
there's
action.
There's a little bit of carnage in what we do in the shadows.
There is. The mail doesn't he eat the mailman?
I think he's talking. Speaking of which, real quick, I think he's talking about making a werewolf movie.
Hissing.
Oh,
based on the wolf.
Werewolves.
Yeah,
werewolves.
Werewolves.
Yeah. That's what it's going to be called.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
WE', werewolves. Like, we're werewolves.
Werewolves.
Because I think they were my favorite part of the movie.
We are wolves, right? We are werewolves.
Like, we are werewolves. All
right, whatever.
Werewolves.
So,
Mary Hewitt.
We're going back to the Doctor Strange.
You're trying to...
We liked... You liked him.
I
liked
did.
him in the movie.
Because... That's the thing.
I was a little sad that we already saw that scene, by the way, already.
Oh, what do you mean?
In the end credits. I'm just a little sad we already saw that scene.
It was more surprising.
Honestly, I forgot what I've only seen Doctor Strange that one time in theaters.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I remember the scene, but I don't really remember.
Yeah.
It's such a letdown movie. Because it's just like it could have been so much, and that's the similar problems I have with Doctor Strange I'm having here, where I'm like, there's so much potential to do weird, cool stuff thematically and visually, and with Doctor Strange, like I'm like, of course, Scott Derrickson doesn't have the chops for this. Like, although it could have been cool if he did a more horror element, that's cool. But the best part of Doctor Strange again is all like the time travel stuff, the stuff he did, and like that's the best part of that movie, and like. With Thor 2, there's a little bit of that where there's like Thor's playing with the identity of like having no hammer. He's playing with like all this new information. Him and Hulk as the two different sides of like the rage equation. What is your identity? I said like that's the big thing is what is your identity without your special weapon, right? What is Banner without Hulk? What is Thor without his hammer? What is Loki?
What is Tony without his suits?
Exactly.
Man.
Yeah.
Still Iron Man, I guess, is what he always says. But
he throws his arc reactor in the ocean. Don't you need that? Oh, God. Tony.
Isn't that important to you?
What the heck's Shane Black?
Shane Black?
Yeah.
I can't wait for Tony Stark to die in Infinity War.
You think sad? You think he's going to die?
Great. Yeah, of course he is.
I don't think he is.
Which one? Part 1 or Part 2?
This is Disney. This is too much of a favorite.
He'll die. Someone I honestly want...
Vision's going to die. We already know that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's one character.
Honestly, though, I want to Captain America die in Civil War.
Yeah,
none of these movies tend to have consequences for any of the main characters.
I would have liked that.
Here's the thing: is that I actually like Captain America. I want to see him.
Well, no, that's the thing. I really like him.
More stuff.
I really like him
I'm
too.
kind of tired of Iron Man. I was like, he was great in Civil War. I was like, perfect role for him. Perfect.
Well, I think he's.
And after that, I was like,
I think we've had this conversation. His character, he's not really a front runner hero anymore,
right?
Except for the big threats. He's always just.
He's not even in the Avengers anymore.
Yeah,
he's like
none of them.
But I think I like that though.
Vision.
I really like that idea of just having like this. He's whatever. That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
We'll have a conversation on Infinity War at some point. But we're gonna move on to the part where we're still talking about Thor. By the way, I'm not really moving on. So when they're in the fields with Odin, that was changed.
Yeah, it was very clear CGI.
Yeah, from an alleyway.
Not having it.
Really?
Yeah. So if you look at like when Thor Ragnarok was first being filmed, there was like a quick like shot of Odin, a homeless Odin. Did you see that where he was like a homeless guy in like New York?
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't feel like finding the picture right now, but so apparently that was going to go a completely different way, and they were going to meet him in an alleyway, and he was probably going to die in an alleyway, and then.
Oh, interesting.
Although I really liked
That's a very Daredevil thing to do.
The moments where he like. Thor realizes his power and it does those quick like chung, which then shows Odin over and over again, like gets closer and zooms in. I love that. I think that was really cool.
Yeah, that's a good motif.
Like chimes or whatever the heck is clicking.
I mean, I love that in Guardians too, when Peter accessed the power to use the light when you have a character having a flashback. Somebody says something, character has flashback,
and it's just then snapping to different scenes real quick.
Yeah, and then that allows them to that gives them the emotional energy to access their greater power to kind of ascend to that level. It's the Buddha moment, right? Yeah. I mean, in a very pop culture way, but it's the idea of transcendence. As activated by like a key piece of information, and the way it filters through your memories is kind of like an arrow. So that everything is now given a context which you can use to like fuel yourself.
Did you guys like this electricity Thor power?
Yeah, it's really cool.
I mean, it's
really
kind of fun.
I still hope he gets a weapon though.
Yeah, definitely.
I kind of wanted to get the the one he has.
Weird if he's just like the Palpatine now.
The one he has in Ultimates. It's like the hammer.
Can't they just make a new hammer?
You have to go find a dying star. It's probably huge. Like
he could do it, dude. Thor could do it.
But the one from here, I'll get a picture.
Could do it.
They were kind of doing God Bomb. Did you notice that?
No, I did.
There was some God Bomb elements in here, which is another reason why I was so crestfallen, because I was like, a lot of thematic meat there, a lot of really fun stuff you can do if you want.
Get some God Bomb, some God Butcher.
Just like some really cool scenes, right? And
yeah.
then it's just like, nah, we these jokes, we gotta get these jokes out of the way, man.
Yeah.
These jokes sound like hotcakes.
Oh, man.
So I'd be okay if they kind of had this one. It's his ultimate. It's cool. Really big too. It's like it's like a two-handed.
Looks like he wears it on his back.
Yeah, it's Matt here. I'll get a better picture of him holding it. It's like a two-handed weapon.
Yeah,
that would be really cool if he got something like so that ship at the end in the mid-credit scene is clearly going to be probably Thanos' ship. Yes.
Nebula, mermaid.
Why is she such a
big
big
humor? I mean,
didn't she say that in
so
Guardians too?
The mid-credit scene is they're on Korg's getaway vessel, and they're just standing there, and he's like, "We're going back to Earth. What could go wrong?" And then like all of a sudden, the big shadow looms, and it's this giant ship, and then it cuts out.
Yes.
Right. So I'm assuming that's going to be Thanos' ship.
Probably.
There's probably a bunch of goodies and trinkets on that ship. So I'm hoping maybe Thor will be like, "Cool hammer, dude."
Yeah. Goodies and trinkets.
So
what's going on though? Sorry.
Yeah. No. Go ahead.
What happened to the Collector Man? Do I get more Benicio del Toro back in my life?
Collector Man.
His place blew up.
But he had Infinity Stones there.
He had one and it's gone.
No.
Oh, he had the ether though, didn't he? From Thor 2.
Yeah.
That's true.
James Gunn went on a podcast and was like, he has two.
And then I was confused because...
And he just at the other location.
Okay.
Then I was confused too because in his collection, wasn't Adam Warlock's cocoon there?
It was... all right, well, that wasn't... It was a nod to his cocoon, but it was never like...
Okay.
It was
like
like...
at the end of Guardians, they were like, here's Adam Warlock. And I was like, was this already established?
He was like, "Isn't this cool if people notice it? It's kind of like Adam Warlock's cocoon from the comics, but like it wasn't actually him."
Okay.
Yeah. But what my guess would be maybe that the Collector was captured on Thanos' ship and like all his goodies are there.
I believe
I like calling them goodies.
Where's all the stones now? Like, do we know where every stone?
All right. Well, one's on Xandar, the one from Guardians.
Yeah.
Power Stone.
The Collector has the ether.
Right.
And the Tesseract was in Thor's vault in the vault
in Asgard.
And Loki went ooh as he walked by it. So he clearly took it.
Yeah.
Again.
Which is why Thanos is there, I assume.
Right.
To collect it from Loki.
Let's see. Vision has one in his head.
Yeah.
4.
Doctor Strange wears one around his neck. Or he used to, but it's the Time Stone.
Yeah.
Yes.
So alright, so we have the ether, the Tesseract with Loki, the Time Stone with Doctor Strange.
Power Stone.
The Power Stone in Xandar. The Mind Stone with... There's one we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
What's the last one?
You'll have to watch Black Panther, I guess, or something.
Do you think it's going to be Black Panther? I don't think they would introduce that. They'll probably just be...
It's like, why are they all on Earth?
What I'm thinking what I'm thinking is this Avengers 3, it's going to be... Thanos is going to get all 5 stones.
Oh, it's the Soul Stone.
The Soul Stone.
Is the one we're missing, right?
So he's going to have all the 5 stones. And the movie's going to probably be like kind of like a race to the last stone type thing.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
That'd be cool. Oh man, I want a big character to die at the end of the third one.
Yeah.
Just cliffhang.
We'll see what happens.
But
yeah. So anyway, is there anything else about Ragnarok you guys want to talk about? I kind of keep moments. The fight with Hulk was fun.
Yeah.
I really liked how they brought back the sun's going down.
Yeah, that was
real
Well, that was one of the problems too I had with the movie was, as funny as that joke is, and as funny as when Thor is getting smashed by Hulk and Loki's like, that's how that feels.
I love that scene, but I also hate that scene because it's very just like, it's too perfect.
It's too perfect. Well, because that line is so funny to people who have seen the other Avengers movies. But what if you're just like a random moviegoer?
Don't watch this movie then.
But what if
that's just too good? That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's too bad.
I don't know if that should be. I don't know if a movie's success should be dependent on.
But then, like
17 other movies that came out before.
Because you can watch Empire Strikes Back.
But then Civil War wouldn't exist.
What?
Civil War wouldn't exist.
Well, Civil War is fine. I'm talking about enjoying jokes.
So it's
not just like plots.
It's only jokes.
Because you can enjoy characters and plot like no matter what, but it's it's
like an inside joke.
And also Civil War is kind of self-contained. Like,
yeah,
you
don't
really
really
need to see anything else to see.
I feel like if I remember correctly, they do an alright job of just kind of laying out what's going on
Yeah,
at
that's
the
true.
beginning of Civil
But-
War.
Two guys friends, they disagree, no longer friends because the third guy is kind of crazy.
So
Go after third guy, flashback, he killed his parents, and they fight. That's it. That's
Okay,
all
I
Civil
guess
War
so.
is, self-contained. Very good.
but I really love that Loki was terrified of the Hulk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
But
yeah.
if you take away that joke in this way that you're saying, then he wouldn't be terrified of it.
I'm not saying take
I
away.
just thought
but
the way
I'm
the
just saying,
smashing
like,
thing, yes, that's fine.
like-
but the fact that he was terrified of him.
because there's that, and then sun's going down real low, right? So you have these two jokes are two great examples of like references as jokes, and
Yeah.
I'm like, where those, and it's fine now, but where will the line be drawn in the future where everything is joke? That's what Guardians 2, even though Guardians 2 was a bit of a joke fest, those jokes I didn't feel were entirely dependent upon having watched the past Guardians movies.
Yeah.
I guess
Those
so,
were
yeah.
character motivated jokes.
Well, you know what? If people don't get those jokes because they didn't see the movies, that's too bad.
That's on them.
That's on them. I saw them and I liked those jokes.
Watch more movies.
Watch the movies. Yeah,
But that's like saying to enjoy Winter Soldier, it's like you got to sit through the somewhat mediocre Captain America movie.
you should.
I did.
It's your penance.
Yeah.
That's how you get to earn to watch Winter Soldier.
All right. Well, here's the thing. I know this is kind of off topic, but I have this peeves of people not watching the movies before watching. You know what I mean? Like they'll go see part 2 before seeing 1.
Yeah.
And I hate that because it's like it's not only is just stupid to do, and it's just like you're ruining it for yourself, but also you have someone who works so hard to create this world and this art, and they're just like you're wasting it.
An example comes to mind. Remember at work when the second Hobbit movie came out, someone went and saw it, and then afterwards they came up to me and were like, this movie just starts with them like running in a field and just goes. I'm like, yeah, that it's the sequel to the first movie. They're like, the first what? And I'm like, the first Hobbit movie. This is the second one. They're like, what?
Starts with
It's
them running in a field.
Yeah, like that. It ends with them running in a field, and
Yeah.
this one starts with if I remember correctly.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
But I'd argue, if a film is really good, it kind of transcends that. Like, I wouldn't fault you if you just watched The Dark Knight and you hadn't seen Batman Begins.
I did
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes.
Dark Knight's a way better movie.
That's true. It is a way better movie.
that. But I feel like it's not I feel like these movies.
It's different though. These movies, they're continuations. Whereas
There's people who's probably only watched Dark Knight Rises. That's
like,
so
what if
sad.
you just watched Return of the King
Oh, okay, yeah.
and you were like,
But Two Towers is kind of great.
oh,
Two Towers
no,
is the
Two
best.
I
Towers
like
is
Two
great.
Towers. But like,
what if you only watch just the Two Towers? It's just like you have this whole thing that you're missing, and you can't complain about that because you missed something because you just didn't watch it.
Oh yeah, people
read
who,
it.
People who complain because they don't know what's happening. Yeah,
Right.
it's
So
like-
if you complain about those jokes you didn't get because you didn't watch the things before it, that's your fault.
right, okay.
You know what I mean?
But I think if I'm okay with plot doing it, I'm not okay with jokes doing it.
That's weird.
Jokes are character. Well, you could be like, well, plot is character too, but the actions of the character, the way characters, it's scenes, right? Two characters have dialogue back and forth. That's what makes the scene. No matter what they're doing, that's the essence of the drama.
Yeah.
Right. So if two characters are joking and it's all references, then that's really hard.
it is? Yeah, I could see.
Unless you let the audience
Right.
in
I
on the
don't think it
joke.
was all references that much though.
It wasn't, but the question was, what happened? Like this, what happens if this becomes a trend?
Right.
What happens if this?
I don't think it will though.
Escalated.
I think the only reason why it was is because you have two characters who are completely different places in the last time you saw them.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they were thrown together.
Floor almond.
Don't worry about that. The cat will get it.
Do you have a cat now?
Chocolate.
No, I was watching my brother's cat
okay.
and she left last night. Cats can eat chocolate. It's dogs can eat chocolate.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you have two characters who are in completely different places. At the
Yeah.
end and like there was no sign that they would be jumping together at any
Right.
point. They just did it because they could.
Yeah.
And so like slapped together, I guess you kind of have to make references as to where they were before.
Because I mean, like Loki hasn't seen the Hulk
Since
the Avengers.
Right.
So
Thor
imagine
hasn't
if-
seen him since he just randomly disappeared on that Quinjet, and last time we saw him on that Quinjet, Scarlett Johansson was trying to be like, "Come on back,
Yeah.
boy."
Imagine if you were Loki. Like, I'd be terrified of the Hulk.
Yeah,
and then if I like, even if I didn't see him for like 5 years, and then I was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, you're in a place you think you're safe, and you're
then
hearing
he's just there.
And not to mention, this
even,
whole time he's been hearing about how he's like the most terrifying savage monster right now in that place, and he shows up and it's the guy.
And it's like, oh, this guy's beat the shit out of me.
That's
before.
fine, but you can crank up the stakes on that a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Because you can like reference that, like you can have like Loki, like because he lives on Sakaar, right, for a couple months. You can have him see like a Hulk mask and be like, this is super weird. And then like throw that away.
Yeah, but the movie's only 2 hours long. You can't, you don't have time for that.
You do that in a TV show.
Yeah, you don't have time for that, and that's the problem. I don't disagree with you.
Are you saying you don't have time for character moments? Because like that's a
no,
very dangerous
I do,
idea.
but this is not a Loki.
That's very
movie.
dangerous.
This is not Loki's movie. This is Thor's movie.
Loki.
I agree
think that's
with
the problem. Is it's not a Loki movie or one of the major problems is because it's like
Tom Hiddleston.
Loki defines Thor's experience, and he was like. Loki Thor movie starts out Loki Thor buddy comedy. Ooh, yay! They're both on Sakaar. Loki's there first. Buddy comedy. Yay! And now Thor takes the place of Loki, right? It's a buddy comedy the whole way, and then Thor takes Loki's place, and you never get the Loki dynamic back, which I think was weak in the first place. Like as soon as Loki was on screen, I was like, "Where's the fireworks? Where's the fun conversations?" It's just like. It's me, and they're like, you.
I really liked Get Help, though. That was probably my favorite part.
That was really funny.
It's a great scene.
But that's the thing. This movie has great jokes.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what are we losing to get these jokes?
Yeah, I thought it was alright. I think it was exactly no. I mean, like I agree with you, and I thought
it's the best Thor movie. That's
it's the best Thor movie.
Easily.
And I thought it was so much fun, and it was just. I think it was a break.
Winter Soldier is a better movie than this movie.
I agree.
Oh yeah.
And I might say Guardians. I like Guardians 2 more than.
I disagree. I think Guardians 2 is fine, but this one.
I think there's parts in this movie that are better than Guardians 2.
I'd rather watch Thor.
But I think Guardians 2 as a whole is a better movie.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
This is a movie that if it ever goes on Netflix, I will watch random scenes from. I do that. I do that with Civil War. I do that with Avengers. Like I'll just like put it on and be like, I want to watch a random scene from this right now. This is a movie I would do that with. Did it with the first Guardians 2. All right, we should probably move on. Overall,
really, really fun.
I really loved it. I thought it was so much fun, especially seeing it a second time, knowing what's gonna come. You relax a little bit.
Yeah.
What was that gesture?
Nothing.
All right. What are some opinions?
From the future?
Yeah. You got it, man.
Opinions from the future.
I don't even remember what we talked about at this point. Now that we're like so far in.
We talked about he's like your dad. He's a sleepy boy. He's a sleepy puppy. I want to like rub your belly. Star Wars Battlefront.
Star Wars Battlefront.
Dose?
No, well now it's Star Wars Battlefront 5.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
They based it off the Clone Wars TV show though. It's kind of weird.
EA's imploded.
I forgot it was the Clone Wars TV show. The Genndy Tartakovsky.
No, the other one.
Oh, the other one.
Darren Aronofsky one.
Darren Aronofsky.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird because they made it rated E for everybody. Oh no, it was the other rating.
It was what's it called? The one that you never hear about.
G? Or no, not G.
AO.
Yeah, that one.
Adults only.
That
Adults
one.
only.
It was adults only.
That was a weird one.
AO. I remember seeing that for like PlayStation 1 games and being like, whoa.
I know. What
does that mean?
What is on this disc? There's another.
You got hacked.
There was another one that was for everybody.
It was like E10, and then there's like E to T.
But there used to be like a KA. I think just like
KA.
kid to adult.
Kid to adult.
I think my copy of Mario Kart 64 is rated KA.
I think I had a copy of the original Spyro that had that.
Nice.
Anyway, what else happened in the past 5 years?
Well, we had that whole thing with like in the movie Interstellar when they're like, we could go to space or we could live in the dirt. Like, we kind of had that happen.
Interstellar, it happened.
Interstellar happened where, like, the crops, like, a lot of corn got dirt on it. I guess Dust Bowl 2.0 happened.
A lot of corn got dirt on it.
Just a couple.
Can't eat it.
Only a couple.
Not as bad as the movie made it up.
No, it was just in, like, one state. Whatever, you know. And then it rained, and we were all fine.
what is it? Iowa, the Cornhuskers? Iowa.
Is that Iowa? There's corn everywhere.
They went to space. Iowa went to space.
Yeah, they were like, we're going to die, and they just went up there.
The potato industry skyrocketed.
Yeah.
I've
Idaho,
never seen
they're
more
living
French
it up.
fries.
Dude,
in my
those
entire
potats
life.
are delicious.
Potats. Oh, man.
Iowa's in space. Idaho is just mansions.
Yeah, just mansions with those potatoes.
Those
Potatoes.
But it all kind of came back around because those Star Wars games were like, they were costing a lot of money to make.
But they're only selling for $60, so they're losing a lot.
They're losing money, or they were losing money up till, I want to say 3. The DLC on 3, they were losing money. And then 4 and 5, they actually got money back because, again, those potato interests. Like, there's a lot of people.
Yeah,
in the
they
potato
were
industry.
accepting potatoes as currency at some of the GameStops are in that area. Yeah,
it's crazy. Like, the potato came back in a big way. That no.
It's like the bottle cap.
I almost said EB Games.
EB Games came back. I was like, yeah, and instead of like you giving them games and they give you money, it was they give you
potatoes,
a game, and you give them money, which is
that's how you buy a game.
But you never think how revolutionary it would be.
I think EB Games are still a thing in Australia.
I think in most
everybody buys games.
Places that aren't America, they are.
Yeah, I miss.
Is that what EB Games stands for? Everybody buys games.
Electronic Boutique.
Electronic.
Is that really what it stands for?
I think it is. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
I'm not gonna.
Electronic Boutique. We only sell one thing.
I know in the UK they have the store Game.
That's creative.
Yeah.
Brookstone's closed. Brookstone's closed.
Brookstone is still alive.
They
have all the
those chairs that like do your taxes for you.
Yeah. And like you gotta buy a Roomba somewhere.
Yeah. Gotta buy Roombas and drones.
And your drones.
Roombas and drones. And those headphones with the cat ear speakers.
They're like drone Roombas where it's like, let me pick up this
cleans
trash.
your walls.
Yeah. Or cobwebs, fuck those things, right? It's like,
dude, that thing would be so, you know how loud drones are? They're like really loud.
In your house. Just fits a feather duster in it.
Yeah. Has a little maid outfit on it.
It's weird that drones are a thing and they're also used in the military.
Different drones.
Yeah, different drones, but it's like potato.
Yeah, sure, I guess so.
It's like they're it's like
same idea, different execution.
It's baby drone. Essentially,
yeah,
right. Yeah. So it'd be like if there's like.
Although no, yeah, you're right because there are some military that use those normal sized drones, not like big flying drones, but they use them as reconnaissance.
I read the most horrifying.
But they're really loud, so I don't know how that works.
And I don't know if this is true, but this will scare the shit out of you. Maybe is that there's some people. I think a professor at Stanford was talking about this, but there's like a potentiality for a type of terror attack that uses drones. That is essentially a giant truck goes into New York City. Right, it's got a bunch of drones inside, and like nail guns.
Yeah.
Right. They pre-program the drones, and the drones all spread out like hundreds of drones and just shoot nail guns.
Into people?
Yeah.
Why nail guns? Why wouldn't they just be normal guns?
Because those are heavy and cumbersome, and a nail gun is just like a.
Nail guns are heavy. Nail guns. Well, the thing with nail guns is that you need compressed air.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
they would have to carry compressed air with them. Why don't you just put a gun on it?
Put a gun on it.
Stupid terrorists.
Stupid terrorists. I feel like morons, you'd get more. I feel like I don't even know what you're talking about. You're gonna get white flagged.
We're gonna get put on a list for this podcast.
This is not our idea. This is just some idea. Okay, Connor, you close this out.
Oh, I want to keep going.
You want to keep going dude? We're so long in. Okay, come on, keep going. What do you got?
Well, what else are we talking about?
That's about it. Really.
Okay.
The new Star Wars series.
Oh, new Star Wars series. Yes.
At least the first episode came out.
Yeah.
It was called Chapter 1 though instead of Episode 1.
That was super.
That was a good change. I like
Chapter
that.
1.
Chapter
Which
1.
is weird because it's not chapters 1, 2, and 3. It's chapters 1, and then the second one's called Chapter 2 through 10. And then the second one's called.
But that hasn't
10
come
to
out
30.
yet, though. Are you sure? All right.
Well, they could they changed the title of Infinity War, right? Because at first it was Infinity War
Part 1, Part 2.
Part 1, Part 2, and now it's Infinity War. This is the first one.
And then there's
something else.
There's gonna be something else.
Infinity War, Spider-Man's Revenge, something like that. People didn't see that Spider-Man thing coming.
No, they did not see that Spider-Man. Never do. Were you weirded out there were no lightsabers in this Star Wars episode?
I was weirded out, but I wasn't. It didn't bother me until they pointed it out. Until
One guy was like, "There's no lightsabers here."
Yeah, that was the weirdest thing because they're in the Jedi Museum and they're like, "Where's the lightsabers?"
It happened in the armory too.
Yeah, in the armory scene. And it was just like really weird. I think there's this thing where it's like you can't shoot outside because it costs a lot of money. So I noticed they just kept having all these indoor scenes. And I was like,
which is weird for a
like,
Star
how do
Wars.
they get from place to place?
Yeah.
Whole movies inside, no space.
Yeah,
no space. No,
they
like,
just use the portals to get from room to room.
Yeah,
on different planets.
And I was like, and they never really addressed if it was in the present or the future. It was kind of just like,
just kind of is.
Oh, the hyperspace wars. Did they happen yet? Or are they about to happen? We don't know.
You talk about the hyperspace wars like it's like the space race.
The space race.
But it's hyperspace race.
Hyperspace race. Hyperspace race. Hyperspace race.
Hyperspace race.
Hyperspace race.
Anything else you got? You want to keep this going, Carl?
I need more noodles.
It's up to you.
To quote Nirvana the band, the show. I need more noodles. I don't need any more noodles, but I do. So fuck you and fuck her too. Enough.
I think that's the best way to close it. Thank you, Connor.
There's light reflecting off the plate.
That show's amazing. I want to have a good conversation. Tyler needs to watch it. So
I do.
Yeah,
so
good
funny.
conversation about
it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Because season 2, I think
like
it
what I've
started.
seen.
Has it come out yet?
Really? I can't even find a trailer online.
He showed me the Wii Shop channel video.
It's not on there. They took it down.
And
it's not
did you
online
get a Wii
anymore.
Shop?
Yeah.
And that made me laugh.
Yeah. It's great. It's a whole show about it.
Yeah.
RPG.
We'll save that
Harvest Moon
for next time.